Alright guys, in this lesson we're going to talk about optimizing your digital presence. Basically meaning make your LinkedIn, make your email signature look good. Because when you're reaching out to a stranger for the first time, they're probably going to take a look at you or try to research you. So it's important that they like what they see and it makes sense. Ultimately, you never get a second chance at a first impression, so you really want to make sure your first impression is good. Now, especially if you've been mostly getting your business from like referrals or network, or maybe people come to you because they find your content, they already know a lot about you. They've already been, had someone put in a good word for you. So when you're doing push marketing and you're starting the conversation, they don't know who you are most likely. So it's really important that, if you're emailing them or you're messaging them on LinkedIn, that you have your profile very built out and it looks very professional. So attached will be a resource that gives you a checklist for your LinkedIn. There's 8 things you want to improve, and also a checklist for your email signature as well. So I'm just going to talk through them real quick, and then after this lesson, go through and actually take the time to improve your LinkedIn profile and your email signature. So there's 8 areas you want to get right on your LinkedIn profile. The first 4 are definitely the most important though. If you can just nail the first 4, then you're in good shape. Number 1 is your headline. This is the line that goes right beneath your name at the top of your LinkedIn profile. For the headline, the best thing you can do is actually just take one of the messaging statements that we wrote in the earlier lessons. The I help target market achieve X benefit. You can actually just copy and paste one of those here. So the headline should just cover 2 things. Who do you help and how do you help them? Ultimately, the same goes for your whole LinkedIn profile. It should really just cover those 2 things very well, because when someone goes to your profile, that's what they're wondering. They're thinking, who is this person? Can they help me, and how can they help me? So it should communicate that very, very clearly. What a lot of people do in their LinkedIn profile in their headline is they'll just say, oh, I'm a marketer, or oh, I'm a consultant. But you want to be talking about, again, who you help and the benefit. The next one will be the cover photo. Now, just have your cover photo be something that looks nice, is designed very well. Of course, you can hire someone for this, or you could just go on Canva and make one yourself. But what I recommend for the cover photo is that you actually communicate through the design, again, who you help and how you help them. Best thing to do is to add text there so you can actually call out your market. So let's say you help law firms. You can say, we help law firms, whatever, do X, Y, and Z. That way, before someone even scrolls down, they see your headline, they see your cover photo, and they already know exactly what you do and if you can help them. Most people aren't going to read your entire LinkedIn profile. They usually just give it a quick scan. So make sure that these elements at the top are very dialed in. The next element of your LinkedIn profile would be your headshot. So I definitely recommend, if you don't have one already, is go out and get a professional headshot. It's pretty cheap and it's something that you'll use for the rest of your life. You can use this in your website, your email signature, your LinkedIn profile, your other social media as well. This makes a big difference. If you have a profile picture and it's like you at a party or something, what is that going to say to your potential customers? So spend the money, spend the time to get one done right. Again, you do it once and you have it forever. You don't need to be super professional. You don't need to be wearing a suit unless that's, how you want to portray yourself. There's no rules here. Casual is fine, but it's definitely worth it to get a high quality photo. Next would be the About Me. And the About Me isn't so much about a whole bio about your life and where you went to school and what you studied and all that. You can have a little bit about that in there, but actually use this section almost like you would be writing copy for your website. Use this section to actually talk more about, your business, what you offer, the problems you solve, maybe past clients that you've helped, any results you've gotten. So yeah, if you look on LinkedIn and other people's profiles, you'll see most of the time they just use this as a long bio. But ultimately, take this space to actually communicate the value you offer and really hook someone in. You can also use this section to put any links to your website or your profile, or maybe a calendar link so they can book in a meeting with you. So you could definitely use some of that space for that as well. So those are the 4 most important. Spend the most time on those 4. But here are some additional areas that'll be very helpful to optimize on your LinkedIn profile. Next would be your work history. So make sure that your work history is detailed well. And again, when you're actually writing about your company, use that space to really, again, sell the benefits, sell the value. Another thing would be recommendations. These are testimonials. So if you don't have any, it's okay. But I would definitely go to at least 3 to 4 past clients or at least colleagues and tell them to go write a recommendation on your LinkedIn profile, because that'll give you some more credibility and authority. Next one would be featured content. So you can actually take a link or a piece of content you've posted on LinkedIn or anything really and feature it. So this is great if you have a portfolio to show, or you have case studies, or you could just put, again, one of your best posts or a link to your website. But this is a great way for people to learn more about you. Again, you're reaching out to people for the first time that don't know you. So the more stuff you can give them to find out who you are and kind of control what they see, the better. Last thing, which is great if you have it, but doesn't matter that much if you don't, is if you have any awards or certifications, that'll be great to put as well. Again, it's just more credibility, another opportunity to show that you're the real deal. But if you have nothing, then don't worry about it. And that's it for LinkedIn. Now, when you're emailing people, you want to have a nice professional email signature. The different thing about email is that they don't have much to go off of, so you can't really say much in your email. With LinkedIn, they can see a lot about you, but your email, they only see your signature at the bottom, so you only have a little bit of space to kind of show that you're a professional. So use this the best you can. Definitely put that headshot in there. Definitely put business information like the name of your company, a phone number, even an address if you can. It's not like people are going to look you up or come stalk your office if you have one, but at least if you have that, all the business contact information, it shows that you're actually a real company. So headshot, business information, and then put one link where they can learn more about you. Because again, the thing about email is they're just getting a message from you. They don't know who you are. They don't know your social media. So try to give them somewhere that if they want to learn more about you or your business, they can go. A website would be great. Case study is fine. And you could even link to your LinkedIn, right? Because you've taken all this time to beef up your LinkedIn. So if you want, you can link there. But just link somewhere where they can learn more about you and your work so that they can know that you're credible. Because the thing is, people get emailed all the time from people trying to sell them stuff. So they're always wondering, like, is this person legit, So just try to give them one place where they can learn a little bit more about what you do. And then the last thing would be to have some kind of statement at the bottom that shows your authority and your credibility. So a lot of people don't do this, but if you actually put something in the bottom to kind of explain what your business is about, that would be amazing. I mean, this is where you can take one of those messaging statements we wrote in the earlier lesson and put it at the bottom too. So you can just have kind of like your value proposition at the bottom. Another thing you could do is you could add social proof. You could add a testimonial or even like a quote from a previous customer. Again, just to help answer the question of, is this person the real deal? Can I trust this person? But don't put too much in here. Again, you don't want to go crazy. You also can't put a million links there because that'll actually trigger some spam filters in emails and some of your emails won't get delivered. So again, only put one link max and don't put too much information at the bottom. Just keep it short and sweet. All right, guys, so that's how you can make your LinkedIn, your email look really sharp. Take the time now to go optimize both of those and I'll see you in the next lesson.